Hi, I'm Brad Gustafson, and this is a sample of the sales training that you'll find in my upcoming Udemy course, the listing presentation. All sales consist of several steps. First, there's the greeting, where you introduce yourself to your customers, then qualifying, which is determining whether your customer or potential customer has a problem that you can solve profitably. Then you would tour the home and take a look at it and determine whether the house is marketable. And then you present your services, determine the list price with the customer, and then get to the closing on the contract, get a signature signed on a listing agreement. Now, each of these steps is going to have a couple of videos in the upcoming course. And in this sample, I'm just going to be going over the first step, which is the greeting. Now, the greeting in and of itself consists of several steps too. So the first step is going to be the pay a compliment. In other words, when you walk up to the house, you knock on the door, you introduce yourself to the potential customers, and you pay them a compliment. Find something that is worth, that you really like. What wonderful, lawn landscaping you have. I love your neighborhood. Pay them a compliment that's sincere. Don't make something up that you don't believe in, but pay them a nice compliment. Then you want to take them to the kitchen table. The kitchen table is where all decisions are made. Do not sit in the living room on a couch in a comfy chair. Decisions are not made there. Also, the kitchen table is a place that you'll need to put out your presentation materials and get a signature. So you want to take control of the presentation from the get-go by going to the kitchen table and using that as the place to work from. Then, once you've done that, you ask for a glass of water. Now, this is important because at the end of your presentation, you're going to want to ask the people, to your potential clients, to pick up a pen and write their name on a piece of paper. In other words, you're going to ask them to take physical action at your direction. So you want to establish a relationship where they are moving physically at your direction. And it's very simple. Oh, geez, I'm really thirsty. Is it okay? Do you have a glass of water or something? I could have a sip, wet my whistle. And they will get up, move, get you a glass of water, come back, and you're actually starting to establish that relationship where they move at your direction. Then once you've gotten the glass of water, you go into setting the agenda. And the agenda itself is the most important part of the greeting because it establishes where you're going to go. When you set the agenda, the biggest thing or the problem that people are going to have or question they have in their mind is how much is your commission and how much am I going to get for my house and how much am I going to net? So you want to set those questions aside so that you can present your services and deal with the commission afterwards. Because whenever you say whatever amount of money you say your commission is, whether it's 10% or 5% or 1%, it doesn't matter, it's too much until you've been able to present your services and they perceive that your services are of value that exceed whatever your commission is. Now, they can't hear what you talk about, what your services are when they have that question in their mind of how much am I going to net? So the process that you use is setting an agenda that allows them to set that question aside and focus on what is important to you first. So when you set the agenda, you pull out a piece of paper and you say the first step is going to be, I'm going to need to determine your needs. And the way you set this up is say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, the first step of our meeting today is going to be, I'm going to ask you a series of questions to determine what your goals and objectives are. Now, my promise to you is after I ask you some questions and I find out what you want to accomplish in the marketing and sale of your house, if I can't help you, my promise is I'll walk out. We can end the meeting right after that. If it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to achieve your goals after I accomplish them. So is it okay if I ask you some questions? And they'll say yes. So you've gotten a yes throughout your presentation, you want to continue to get yeses. So when you get to the end, a lot of little yeses makes it a lot easier to get a big yes, which is the signature on the listing contract. So once we've determined what your needs are, we're going to take the next step, which is to take a tour of your home. Now, the reason that you want to tour the home after you've determined their needs is because the process of determining their needs is going to reveal certain objections that they have and what their hot buttons and interests are. And you're going to want to figure out what to present, because the next step is going to be actually presenting those services. And when you present your services or create a marketing plan, you want to present the services that address their interests. And then you can do all kinds of things that they won't be interested in. So you have to determine their needs, find out what they're interested in. Then while you're touring the house, you'll have time to think in your head, what do I want to focus on in my presentation? So that touring the house after doing the qualification questions gives you the time to plan out what your marketing plan will look like to present to them. Now, after, so the way I would say to our clients is, I'm going to tour the house. After we tour the house, if I feel like I might be able to achieve your needs, but if your house if I don't feel it's marketable, then I can leave and we can, go our separate ways. But if I think I can help you with your needs and your house is marketable, then we'll go over or create a marketing plan together. And then it'll be your chance. After you look at our marketing plan, if you feel that our marketing plan isn't going to achieve your goals, or you don't feel confident in our ability to serve your goals, then it'll be your chance to go ahead and ask me to leave, and our meeting can be over at that point. Now, if you do like our marketing plan, then we can go on to the next step, which is to determine what the reasonable marketing price of the property would be, and what your net proceeds would be after the commission and the closing costs. And again, there'll be another chance for you that, let's say you like our marketing plan and you're excited about it, but the existing market isn't going to be able to get you the net that you're looking for. So at that point, if you feel that you can't get the net that you want, then we can talk about, I can refer you to a property manager, you can rent it out, or maybe you want to stay in the property, or figure out some other plan. But if you like our marketing plan and the net proceeds will work for you, then we can go to the final step, which is to review all the paperwork and make a decision as far as when to put the house on the market. So how does that sound to you for an agenda for today's meeting? And you'll get them to say yes to that. And at that point, they have agreed to set the commission and the closing costs and the list price after you've had a chance to present your services. That way, if at some point you're looking at the house or going into the marketing plan and they say, oh, well, how much am I going to get? You can always say, oh, look, here's the marketing plan. We're on step 3. The market price and the net proceeds comes in the next step 4. So we'll get there in a minute. So it's actually very easy for you to push them, set that aside, and allow them to focus on what your marketing is. Anyway, this is just a very brief description of the greeting portion of a listing presentation. Watch for my upcoming Udemy course that goes into all the steps of the sale, from the greeting to the qualifying, touring the house, presenting services, the whole 9 yards. We're going to go into detail with multiple videos where I'll be doing role playing as well. So anyway, looking forward to seeing you in my class. Take care.